wasn't really a local band.
No,
I
they
mean,
weren't.
they weren't selling tickets.
No, they were signed. But
Right, and they were part of her package tour. So, and then she's saying, well, those guys are a local. So she really doesn't know what she's talking about. I mean, her music to me is okay. I mean, there's nothing wrong really with the music, but I mean the whole turmoil. I mean, it's good that the name's getting out there, but it's definitely, and I think it's done more harm to them than.
I totally agree. I mean, come on, in this day and age, we're musicians, we're artists. We like the freedom to do whatever the fuck we want, you know? I mean, that's what it is. However, as a person, you have to be able to pull back away from that artist and realize that you're a shitty person. And if you're going to be shitty to people, people are going to end up being shitty back to you. They're not going to worship you forever. If every artist out there that everybody loved and followed would, you know, be a dick back to their fans, they're not going to follow them.
I mean, I couldn't agree more. I mean, that's, you know, to be a dick to your fan. I mean, that's the whole reason you got there. And like with Tool, they're like, we don't want anybody asking about our new. You should be thrilled that people want to hear about your new album.
Right.
I mean,
exactly.
Oh, we don't want to talk about it. You should be more than happy to talk. I mean, don't give too many details, but say, yeah, man, we appreciate that you're interested. We got something going on and we'll announce it. And blah. Right. Don't ask us about it. Yeah. I mean, it's stupid.
Well, and a lot of times, you know, these artists, I can see both sides, honestly. I mean, you know, your fans are what got you there. But at the same time, these artists,
it gets old.
You know, their lives, they want to separate it. But, you know, at the same time, why did you get into this? You know, go play in a garage band somewhere on the weekends.
Right.
You know, if you love music and you want to play, go do that. If you don't want people to hound you and you don't want people to follow you and adore you, why'd you take the path you did?
Yeah.
Turn down that record deal and the tour buses and, you know, all that stuff. Turn it down. Give it to me. I'll take it.
Yeah, I hear you. Because, I mean, definitely after all this time, I'm sure you still want it. I mean, after a while, it's like, you know, I just do it for the music, basically. But
right, yeah. I mean,
it's definitely hard. I mean, I think probably at this point, the way technology is with all the digital stuff, you're probably better off doing this stuff on your own. If anybody wants to ask any questions, they can Skype at Rock Metal Talk. That's the username, and I'm sure he'll answer questions or pop on the Facebook page or send them to him directly. But so, I mean, as far as do you have any more details about the new stuff, like a set date or how many tracks you guys are working on for the album? Or
we have decided instead of doing an EP, we're going to do an EP and just drop it and see what happens. We decided to go ahead and just work on a full length. So we're going to give everybody a full length, you know, 10, 12 songs. We're hoping to have the majority of it done by September, and don't quote me on this, but we're going to drop a single and new video in October. So
nice. So do you plan? Are you guys recording everything yourselves, and are you going to do hire a production company for the videos, or?
We're doing all the pre-production up to actual tracking ourselves, and then we're a couple people, you know, James obviously is a producer himself, but you know, we were thinking of working with Evan again from Burning Fair Verona, seeing, you know, if he's not too busy with his schedule. I know they got some big things coming up. I'm excited for him so much, but you know, if he's available, we'll probably try to work with him again.
Cool. So you guys are actively rehearsing every week? Or?
Oh yeah. And we decided to go the other route instead of just sitting and record and get the album out. We decided to go ahead and do live shows, just to get everybody, you know, out there seeing the band now. This is not the Raven Chain show, you know. I actually have always been very fond of being a member of a band. I could have very easily, dropped Sister Kill Cycle and just
Right.
been Raven Chain, this whole time as an artist. And, sometimes it would be easier to do that with, flakes coming in and out of the band. You think, well, you might as well just do that, So we wanted to come out as a band.
Right.
We want people to see the new band, the new lineup, and like get to know everybody and then be a part of us again.
I think that was always part of the Sister Kill Cycle thing, was the chemistry like that you had with the guys in the band. So
yeah, I've always tried to give everybody their own spotlight in the band and their own place. I hate to sound cliche, but we're all five fingers on one hand.
Right. No,
so,
I hear you.
The hand can't do shit missing fingers.
Yeah, I think that's why you guys always had, there was always that mystique, that interest in the band because of the way you guys operated. I mean,
oh yeah, we roll around like a motorcycle gang. It's like, it's like when we go to a bar, we go to a bar together. When we go to, Starbucks to get a crappy frappy latte, or whatever, we're going together.
So a couple of years ago, we ran into each other at the Marilyn Manson concert that was at Janice Land, and
God.
You remember being out front?
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of times people do mistake you for him. Do you think that's ever hindered the band's success at all?
I don't know if it has and it has not. It just depends. From a fan's perspective, Marilyn Manson fans are very loyal. They're very like they'll fight you over him, if you talk crap about him. So to see someone like myself who, is doing something very similar, coming out in a band and we look so much alike.
I mean, it's not anybody's fault. I mean,
well, it's probably our our mom's fault because she slept with another dude. We're brothers and all. So, no, that's not true. Not that I'm aware of.
That's funny, but really, I mean, I always knew you kind of resembled them, but after that night at Janice Landing when we were standing outside and everybody thought you were him.
Yeah,
and I'm like, yeah, he's amazing. He completely did that whole 2-hour set, changed his clothes, and was already outside the front door waiting for fans to roll out and harass him.
Exactly.
But I mean, it's definitely cool. I mean, it's definitely brings interest to your project. I mean,
right,
I would think that's the part that helps it.
It does because I am that guy. I will go out there and I will spend, he's on stage for 2 hours. I'm outside for 2 hours talking to all these people and introducing myself. Everybody, of course, wants pictures. And if I literally had a nickel for every time somebody thought I was Manson, I would not have to play music at all, ever.
Right.
But, I do take the opportunity to meet everyone, tell them, no, I'm not Manson. My name's blah, blah, blah with this blah, 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 and, check us out.
And some of them are so drunk, they don't really believe it because the one guy's like, dude, you changed my life. I was like, I can't believe this.
Oh, yeah.
You must go through it. Like, I don't mean to bring it up, but No.
I mean, it's a totally true story. It happened, and it's happened all over the country, not just there. Anytime that we've done anything that has somewhat of publicity around it, at Winter NAMM. I cannot go to Winter NAMM anymore wearing makeup looking like I do. I actually have to down dress and, put a hoodie on. And even then, it's still someone will recognize me. And as soon as one person starts meeting me, taking pictures, I get swarmed with,
I can imagine.
And it's nonstop. I mean, you get to the point where 50 people are around you wanting to talk to you and take pictures. They even quit asking who you are. They just start getting into pictures and taking pictures. So I can't even tell them I'm not Manson.
Right. I mean, it's good. I mean, but it's good that you still take the time because I mean, I witnessed it. I mean, I stood out there with you for a good 40 minutes of you, greeting people and saying, "Hey, man, I'm not that guy. I'm not the guy you think I am."
Right.
I mean, I think about that every once in a while. I'm like, man, it must be a difficult thing because then then when you're being judged maybe by someone in the industry, they might say, this guy thinks he's Marilyn Manson. I really don't think that's the case.
Right, yeah. And that's been a stigma around me and whatever project I've been doing is people in the industry haven't taken us seriously because of that, because they think we're a Marilyn Manson tribute band or something of that. I've talked to a lot of people and had to win them over basically through meetings and conversations, and finally they get to know who I am, and they're like, I always thought you were a dick. I thought you were trying to copy and rip him off, and I never really gave it a second thought. But when they see that we're about the same age, he's a little older than me, but is it so odd that two males of our age coming from where we came from, I lived in West Virginia, he lived in Ohio. That's literally like an hour apart. So is it really so odd to think that two people would be into similar things? Right. Have you never met anyone else that likes Megadeth as well as you? I mean, it just so happens we look alike.
Right. I mean, that and that's basically all it is. And I just hope that, for future of the band that doesn't, that you can separate that somehow.
I could always do like Cheech and, the movie Nice Dreams. I put a big scar down the side of my face and make myself all ugly.
It's just, I don't know. It's got to be, it's interesting. I mean, when I used to get my balls busted in high school because people said I looked like Kirk Cameron. And then as I got older, then I had to deal with the whole Bon Jovi thing. And thank God I gained like 40 pounds because now I don't look like either of them. So it's a pain in the ass. I mean, but it brings attention to the band. So, but, you want to bring attention to the band because of, your Sister Kill cycle.
Right, exactly.
So, when you guys... finally set to release the new CD, are you going to do a physical release?
Of course. It's actually, you lose money when you do that.
Right, of course.
And, that's another thing. I want all the fans to know out there. I will be the first artist to actually tell you how the music industry works. I'm not one of those guys, all the secrets, industry secrets. Right. I'll give them all away. I don't care if the Illuminati comes after me. But yeah, you lose money when you do a physical CD. That's why so many bands do all these digital things, and you see all these artists now doing the VIP packages at their shows because they're not making money anymore. Right. They, big artists, Marilyn Manson, all these, they can hardly afford to tour. So we're definitely still going to do a physical copy because I believe in that, getting the CD physically in your hands, opening it up, smelling that print, and reading through the lyrics and seeing the graphics and the artwork along with the music. That's really, I think, part of the artistry that has always went hand in hand with music. I mean, that is art right there. So
I think kids these days are starting to realize that's having a physical copy is more important. I mean, I love it. I mean, but we grew up with that. So.
Right, exactly.
I mean, the digital thing. But I mean, there's ways around it. I mean, you can do, packages and stuff and, CD, a poster and shit like that, and maybe vinyl. And then, there's different things you can do to promote it. Maybe only release the CD first before you put it out digitally, right, people will buy the copies, at least get 100 copies out there at $15 a piece and get something back.
Yeah, and that's the thing, another people don't realize, MP3s are great. They're very convenient. It's nice to have like 50,000 songs on your iPhone. You can't carry 50,000 CDs around with you every day. Oh, however, the sound quality of an MP3 is so crushed, you do not get exactly what the band spent all that money to go in the studio to write and record, all the little nuances and stuff. You just don't get that.
You miss that, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, again, yes, we're definitely going to do physical.
You going to do any vinyl?
I always want to see my face on vinyl, so it's not something that I'm against. It's if it makes sense, then we might do a short run of vinyl, just maybe 50 or 100 very rare copies.
Yeah, well, I'll definitely buy one, so I'm always down for that.
Cool. I don't. Does anybody have a record player anymore? Oh, of course you do.
I'm a sucker.
Actually, I think